Good morning, fifth graders. It's Wednesday, 422. Happy Earth Day. Go out and enjoy the day a little bit, please, outside. I think you'll need a fresh break. Today's math is all the way in topic 13. We jumped a chapter or a topic, however you wanted to put it, and we're going into topic 13. And we're going to go into what they consider expressions, okay, or just different ways to handle a math problem. Expression is just a fancy name for a math problem, okay. Today we're going to talk about order of operations, which is key to solving a math expression or problem that has different math oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Math types of operations, I guess the best word, adding and subtracting, dividing, that kind of stuff in it. So there's a saying, if we were in my classroom, I'd show you a sign on my wall, but we're not, we're in my kitchen/dining room. But it's called, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I've underlined the P, the E, the M, the D, the A, and the S because it stands for parentheses. Zoom into this, okay? Parentheses, exponents, multiplying or dividing, and adding or subtraction. These two are key because it doesn't have to be multiplying and then go find dividing. It's just whichever one of these two operations first is in the math problem, left to right, and then looking for any kind of subtracting or adding subtracting that comes left to right. This operation just has more importance than that one. Basically, you could think about difficulty-wise. You learned when you were young, kindergarten, first grade, how to add and subtract. So you built on that, and by the third grade, second and third grade, you got into multiplying and then a little bit of dividing. Fourth, you got into definitely all pretty much multiplying, dividing stuff. And then as in fifth grade, you will find that we talked about exponents, powers of 10, that kind of thing, bases, and then dealing with parentheses. So this is what we're going to be talking about is this, it's also called PEMDAS, which is still, again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's key. You have to do your math steps in this order. Okay, you can't just go and see a math problem and do it from sign to sign to sign. There is a specific order in solving math problems that have various orders in them. Okay, guys? So please watch. Please be careful. Please take care of notes that are in the math book on the lessons that I had showed you. The one thing is that you won't have to worry about, it's not given in your book, is how to deal with them when they have exponents in them. I may show you one at the very end for some of you who would like to know that, but really we're dealing with just the parentheses ones, multiplying, dividing, and adding or subtracting, all right? But the thing will be is you're going to be doing those, but you're going to be doing them with problems that have fractions. You're going to be doing them with problems that have decimals. So you're going to have to kind of go back and remember all the stuff that we've learned about adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing of different types of numbers, okay? Whole numbers, mixed numbers, that kind of stuff, all right? First problem I want to give you or show you about was, these are in your book, okay? I'm doing just the straight ones from the book, all right? This one right here, okay? So if we remember PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, that means that you're going to look for, okay, anything that might have a parentheses in it to solve first. There are no parentheses in this problem, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing was you're multiplying and dividing, and if there's any multiplying or dividing, you have to do that first. So if I'm coming across here, right here is where I see any kind of multiplying or dividing. I have to do whichever one of those is in there that's first. So I have to solve this first. So I'm going to take this problem down and I'm going to do it 15. I'm going to have to hold it, guys. This is not the easiest, okay? It's going to be 15 plus, I have to solve 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I'm going to put the 4 there. And I'm going to keep the plus 5. All right. So now I go back and think my orders of operations. There's no multiplying and dividing anymore. I've taken that out. Now I do any kind of adding or subtracting, whichever comes first, left to right. So I have to do this one first. I cannot make that 9. No. Okay. I have to do this one first. Okay. Which gives me 15 plus 4. Okay. I'm doing that one. Right. So that is going to give me my 19. And then I get to add my 5. Okay, so again, I did this step first and got my 4. Then I added my 15 plus 4 and got 19. And now I can add my 5 so that my answer, okay, is going to be 24. Okay, that's how you do it. Your answer has to be 24. Okay, all right. So again, remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, if there's exponents, then multiplying and dividing, adding and subtracting, depending on whichever comes first. All right? Okay, another one. Now that we're going to do, again, this one, no parentheses yet. I'm not going to do, I'm just going to do the basics, okay? This first step, we got 36 plus 9 divided by 3 times 5. All right? Thinking back again with your, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you've got parentheses, there aren't any. Exponents, nope, there's no exponents in there to do. So now multiplying, dividing, anything that comes first, left to right. So as tempted as you might be to want to take and do this problem right here, don't do it. Okay? You have to do this one first. So you're going to get 36 plus, if you guys know remember your division facts, 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then you're going to times that by 5. Now, again, go back. Again, every step you've got to do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You have to do that order. No parentheses, no exponents. Is there any multiplying or dividing? Yes, there is. Okay, so you're going to do this first right here. So that's going to be 15. Okay, so now you're going to have 36 plus 15. So your answer, okay, when you do that, your answer, you'll come over here and do 36 plus 15. Okay, you'll carry. And you get 51. Your answer is 51. Now, you might have tried it some other way, you got some other answer, but that is not the correct answer, guys. The answer has to be 51, okay? So make sure that you're looking at it, following it, and getting the right answers. It's imperative. This is one where you've got to follow those steps, okay? All right, next one. This has got a decimal in it. I want to show you one how to do with decimals. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses? Nope, haven't got there yet. Exponents? No, I told you would probably have exponents in your lessons. And finally, multiplying, dividing. Yeah, I've got some multiplying or dividing in here. So, okay, this one, and it's got decimals. Okay, so you are dividing 1 8/10 by 6. Guys, you got to remember that that's going to be 6 on the outside, 1.8. Remember, if you're dividing by a number that has a decimal in it, that's the dividend, the decimal goes straight up. If you've got a decimal out here in your divisor, remember you've got to move them. You got to remember those steps. Here we don't, so you just bring it straight up. Now you're going to take 6 into 1. No. 6 is going to go into 18, so it's very important that you put that 3 right above the 8 so that when you get 18 and you subtract, okay, your answer is decimal 3. All right. So now you have decimal 7, which is the original from the original, and you're going to add to it decimal 3. And please remember that when you add decimals, that you line them up. Okay, so decimal 7, decimal 3, add them. You're going to get a 0, a 1, and it's going to be 1 decimal 0. Or you could just leave it as 1. Okay, remember when you add and subtract, you line the decimals up. But when you're multiplying, remember you just multiply them and move them over how many places you see in both of your factors when you're multiplying, all right? And then you move that decimal over that many places, right? This is kind of new stuff and using the old stuff, the old stuff that you have too. All right, 2 more, and then I'm gonna let you go. And if you have questions, you're gonna call me, ask me. Also, I'm going to dedicate part of today's Zoom chat to actually teaching this stuff again, okay? All right, so last 2 problems. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in one with parentheses, all right? So this one has parentheses, so I don't care if it was adding, subtracting, whatever's in that parentheses goes first, all right? So you're gonna have 12, subtract, you're gonna solve that, and you're gonna get 9, and then you're gonna add 11. No, you are not going to do the easy stuff first. You're not going to say, oh, that's 20. No. You do this first. That means that gives you, because it's adding, subtracting, whichever one comes first. In this case, subtraction comes first. So you're going to have to do it. And that's 3 plus 11. And then you're going to get the answer of 14. It's going to give you a whole different answer if you had done it the other way. Okay. Excuse me a second. I need to grab a drink. Sorry, guys. I know. Me talking there. Thanks. Okay. So now this one involves fractions. I wanted to show you one with fractions in it. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Any kind of parentheses? Nope. No exponents. So any kind of multiplying or dividing, whichever one comes first. In this case, you've got that. So you have to do 1/2 times, in this case, remember you make your fraction with a whole number by putting it over 1. So you're going to do that, and when you get that answer, you guys know that that's going to be 2 over 2, or that equals 1. All right. So now you've got 3/4 plus 1, and that equals 1 3/4. Okay. So that's how you're going to be working with those. It's going to require you to remember how you dealt with every operation with whole numbers or mixed numbers or fractions. And then from there, remember those steps. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, anything with multiplying or dividing, and then anything with adding or subtracting, whichever comes first, left to right. Okay? And I did promise you one problem that might have some exponent in it. You won't see it in your homework, but I do want to show it to you so you know how you have to deal with it, okay? So let me write up a problem really quickly here. Okay, guys, so here's this problem here, okay? It's got adding, it's got some subtracting, it's got exponents, it's got parentheses, it's got the stuff in it. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So first thing to do would be anything in parentheses. So then that step's going to be 7. And you say, do I have to write all these steps? Yeah, you really need to, because if you don't and you're trying to do all this stuff in your head, you're going to miss something. So write these steps down like I've showed you and modeled for you, okay? 7, you're going to do plus, and that's 5. You're going to do times 3 to the second power plus 4. All right. Now the next step is to see if there's anything with exponents. And there is. So that's 3 to the second power. So remember, when you're doing exponents, that's not just multiplying those two numbers together. That's taking the base, which is 3, and multiplying it, that number, by itself, however many times that exponent says. So that's going to be 3 times 3, which is going to be 9. Okay? So taking care of that, it's going to be 7 plus 5 times 9 plus 4. Now, going back, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you're going to do anything with multiplication, parentheses, exponents we've done. Now we're looking at multiplying or dividing, wherever it is. We've got multiplication here, so that's going to be done first. You're not going to add, you're not going to do anything but that order of operation. So it's going to be 7 plus 45, that's what 7 times 5, or 9 times 5 is, excuse me, plus 4. Now, nope, you're not going to add that. Nope, you're going to do this first, okay? You're going to go and you're going to get 45 plus 7, which is going to be 52. And you're going to add 4 to it, and you're going to get 52, and 4 is 56. So that would have been, your answer would be 56. Okay? But you're not going to have ones with exponents in your assignments. I think I looked and moved ahead. So take it slow, write out your work. You are not going to be able to do it in your book. You're going to have to use another sheet of paper. All right? This is one that requires another sheet of paper, guys. No matter how small you can write, Sydney or Styles or Adeline or those guys who I let you do it sometimes. This one, I think you're going to have another sheet of paper, okay? Because you guys can do it. I just don't want any slip-ups. Have a great day. We're going to talk about this in Zoom. Talk to you later. Bye.